Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to be reacting to another video. But first, I hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. And if you're watching this in the futures, hope you're having a fantastic day. But this video I'm kind of excited for. It's kind of going to be a fun one. So ever since I started doing these reaction videos, I've come to notice that people get very upset when you call football soccer, right? When you call what we would call in America soccer, when you call it that, people get very upset. And so in the States here, we know that around the world it's called football, and we know that here we call it soccer. We're well aware of that. But we never really know why. I don't think most of us don't know why. I never knew why. And today I kind of took a look into it. I found this video. It's with Joe Rogan. It's a clip from the Joe Rogan Experience, his podcast. I just caught like the glimpse of it here. And he's talking with the gentleman from the UK about this topic. And so I found it interesting, and so I did actually go look into why we call it soccer in the States, and so we'll get into that at the end of the video. But I thought this would be a fun video because there's so many people who get so triggered and so upset when I say soccer in my videos, even though it's tough for me because our biggest sport here is called football, and it's American football. But yeah, so I thought it would be fun. So we're going to get into this video here. I'm hoping that maybe we can learn something from Joe Rogan and the guy he's talking to. Maybe they don't know what the hell they're talking about. But we're going to find out. I'm going to get the ears on and we're going to get going. If you like this video, please hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate it. We are growing in the subscribers, and it is all thanks to you guys. It means so much. And if you want to stay tuned in on when I post my videos, go ahead and hit that bell notification. But let's go.
Do they say soccer where you're from, like originally?
In England?
Yeah.
Nah.
No, not in England. In England, it's football.
Yeah, only in America they say soccer.
Real quick. So I'm going to kind of pause it a few times from this and kind of break down what I've learned from talking to people from around the world now, and then also doing a little bit of research. I found that a lot of other places do still call it soccer, and we'll get into that later, but that's interesting too.
For the where did it become football? Was it always football in Europe?
It was always football.
Well, why when it came over here did it switch over?
No idea.
Why didn't they come up with another name for football?
Oh, because
you hardly ever kick a football.
Great point, Joe. Great point. Pointing out the obvious. What every person in the world who calls it football is what that's their point. That's what they think.
I think they were playing football, like the soccer football, and then somebody picked up the ball and started running with it, and they started tackling each other. Like I heard some story like that. And then they kind of created football, and it evolved from there. But then they never changed the name.
I did hear that story too. Like it's like a myth. I think I don't know if there's any proof or relevance to that. But you guys let me know in the comments if you've heard that too.
Like football's called football when the only person who kicks it is a guy who can't even play the game.
Is the least significant person on the team as far as getting pussy when there's a championship. Yes. That is weird. Yeah.
Don't tell Pat McAfee that. That is hilarious. Oh my gosh. Kickers play a really important role, but like when it comes to physicality, they're usually not getting lit up like everybody else.
And you're not allowed to hit him, right?
Right. And you're not allowed to hit him. Yeah.
That's crazy. You can hit him.
It's not wild.
It depends.
Motion of his vulnerable.
Joe Rogan doesn't know a lot about him.
Oh, so you
American
can't hit him while he's
football,
kicking?
apparently.
Legs up in the area.
Oh, that's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
What a bitch ass rule.
You can, if you block the ball, if you block the ball, and then you can hit him. Yeah.
But isn't it crazy that that's football? There's only one time it gets kicked.
Right.
How is that football? Why? What a silly name, right?
Doesn't make sense. But I'm not mad at it. You know, it's like fine. It's
Lies. I guarantee you he's salty about
whatever.
it.
Imagine if they called, baseball. What would they call it? Foul?
Oh, this is so fun.
Called it foul. We're playing foul. Well, that's something that happens every now and then in this game. Has nothing to do with running around the bases. It's about touchdowns. You should call it touchdown. We're gonna play touchdown.
Because it's just baseball. It's just like we're trying to get from base to base.
Yeah.
If they call baseball touchdown.
No.
I'd be okay with calling football touchdown. I mean, it sounds kind of dumb, but it could be dumber, I guess. It's not it. It is what it is. Who cares? But I mean, that would make sense.
They call football touchdown.
Touchdown.
Call it the NTL, National Touchdown League. We're gonna play touchdown.
The NTL.
That's the game. It's not football. Your foot doesn't have shit to do with it except
I'm looking
running.
through an explanation of why we call it soccer, and it's more confusing than we care.
Do people?
So that's what I'm going to go through after this video. I did look up why it's called soccer and all that. And we'll talk about it at the end here.
When you go back to England, if you're from England and you're talking about it, do they resent the term soccer? Like, how does that work?
Yes.
Some people do. Like, I used to resent the term soccer.
Really?
Yeah, you
but
done.
I live
Guaranteed.
here, and it's like, get over it. You know what I'm saying? As a person,
get
I had to
over it.
get over it because it was my favorite sport growing up.
Yeah.
So
That's
I
so
just
funny.
got over it, and then now I even call it soccer. My podcast says soccer. I don't even say football. But when I go to England, just when I'm around football, soccer people, I say football.
I get it.
Yeah.
It's like if
That's funny. And I suppose too. I mean, this is the internet, right? We're on YouTube. This is the internet, social media. So of course you guys are going to get upset, and I get it. It's all in good fun. But I think it's funny. I know deep down he's got a little place in his heart that he's like, God damn, I hate that word. I hate the word. I hate calling it soccer.
if I was talking to someone, they wanted to talk about pool, but they wanted to call it bumper pool.
Oh, okay.
I'd be like,
That pissed you off.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like the Women's World Cup. They won the World Cup in the United States did for soccer. But it's not, it's football. To people like yourself, it's the World Cup. Like, how can they call the World Cup soccer to appease the one country that gives the least amount of fucks about the sport?
Right.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, that's weird. That's the power of America.
That's crazy.
I actually never thought of that. That makes that's kind of weird too. I don't that power of America. I don't know whether I agree with it or not. You guys let me know whether you agree with it or not. I'm impartial. I could really care less. I don't really follow it too much. But that is interesting.
Crazy if you really stop and think about it. We made them change the name of their thing.
Yeah.
We're like, we're not gonna get in there. We'll call it soccer. Okay.
We're a part of it, but we're calling it this.
They call it. Do they call it football in like Argentina?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
Everywhere.
Football.
Football,
But it's
with the
football.
U.
Just their pronunciation and spelling of it.
But then Australia, they're the rebels of the rebels.
Oh, yeah.
They have their
Australia.
own rules. They have Australian rules. Football.
Yeah, that's the AFL. That's a whole
They
different
changed
game.
the rules.
Right.
So yeah, that's funny that they brought up Australia. That's a whole different game. That is hilarious. But when it comes to the World Cup thing, you know that every announcer in every other country, when they speak about it, they're calling it football, right? You know, like we're the only country that we talk to ourselves and call it to ourselves soccer. Everybody else is calling it football, except for like Australia and New Zealand and other countries like that tend to call it soccer too sometimes.
For more ruggedness.
Yeah.
Because they're too, you know what it was over there? They were too used to rugby, like those New Zealand savages
So
that
they
do the
had to,
haka. Yeah, they're fucking savage. You can't play that bitch ass game with a helmet. These guys are running around biting each other in the dick in the scrums.
What the fuck? All right, so that was a pretty funny video. I don't think either of them really know what they're talking about as far as why it's called soccer, which makes sense. I don't know either until I looked it up here recently. So we're gonna look into this a little bit because it's got to come from somewhere, and I just jumped on the Wikipedia. Anybody can go jump on the Wikipedia. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But apparently the name soccer comes from association football, right? And it's more commonly known as football or soccer. It's a team sport played with the spherical ball, 2 teams of 11 players. All right, that's what we all know of the game. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. But let's get into the naming of it. We call it soccer. It came from the term association football. The rules association football were codified in England by the Football Association in 1863, and the name association football was coined to distinguish the game from other forms of football played at the time, specifically rugby football. So this kind of makes some sense. They called it association football because they had other games of football at the time, like rugby, and like we mentioned in the video with the other leagues like that call it soccer still, or other countries that call it soccer still, are like Australia, New Zealand, other countries that have a other form of football. They tend to call it soccer. So I found that interesting. Again, I didn't really know this until looking this up. The first written reference to the inflated ball used in the game was in the mid-14th century. Blah, 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 blah. The term soccer comes from a slang or jocular abbreviation for the word association with the suffix "er" appended to it. The word soccer, which arrived in its final form in 1895, was first recorded in 1889 in the earlier form soccer. So within the English-speaking world, association football is now called football, right? Like we commonly know the rest of the world to call it football, like the United Kingdom. But soccer can be called soccer in places like Canada, the United States, where people in countries where other codes of football are prevalent. So things like, like Australia, Ireland, Wales, South Africa, New Zealand, they also use the term soccer. Although national associations in Australia and New Zealand now primarily use football for the formal name. So both terms are used, and I was actually surprised until looking into this how many countries actually use the term soccer. So for everybody getting out there all triggered, all right, calm down, all right? It's, get mad at the Australians and the New Zealanders too, all right? But no, this is all just for fun, and this is just kind of a joke. But it was good to look into because, again, I hear it all the time, and it really got me thinking, why is the name soccer, like, where did that come from, right? Where is it, what the hell is it all about? So I wanted to look into this, and I'm, maybe some of my American followers here, maybe all three of you can learn a thing or two about why we call it soccer, and the rest of the world can feel a little less triggered, but I doubt it, but it's okay. So this is interesting. This is good for me to know. I love watching the Joe Rogan Experience. I love his podcast. He's got a great show. So if you want to check out the original clip, link will be in the description. You can go ahead and check that out. And if you like this video, please hit that like button, smash it if you will, and hit that subscribe button. I highly appreciate it. And hit that bell notification. You can stay tuned in on when I post my videos. But I was actually thinking, since I've been getting more into these football, soccer videos, I would go pick one up. I'd go to the local store and grab me a ball and start kicking it around and making a fool of myself on camera. I think that would make some of you laugh, and maybe it would maybe be a good time for both of us. So if you guys would like to see me pick up a football, it sounds so weird saying a soccer ball, let me know in the comments below, and we will maybe pick one up and kick it around before it starts snowing out here, because we only got a few more months left and it's going to be like a foot of snow. So yeah, hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Peace, love, and we'll see you later.